Good afternoon or evening, everybody, and welcome to Latimer Park. It's Tuesday night football once again. It's the same opposition as Saturday once again. The second leg, let's call it, after Ketterin's 4-1 win in Suffolk. And this game should have originally been played on December the 16th, 4 attempts later, and we're here this evening and looking out on a coolish night in March. The pitch looks resplendent, both sides coming in from their warm-ups and getting ready for this game in hand for Kettering. One of the games in hand, a win this afternoon or this evening will put Kettering up another place and in touching distance of the playoffs. So it's all to play for. The Kettering Town team, a few changes. I'll go through it with you. Paul White in goal. 3 is Ben Isaacson. 4, George Forsyth. 5, Carl Mensah. 10, Eddie Panther. 11 and in for Wes York is Kai Williams. Lewis Coyle is number 15. Blaine Rowe, 16. Ismail Fatajo is 17. Kai Fifield, 19. And Alfie Lewis is number 22. Your subs tonight are Jason Alexander, number 13. Andy Thanoj, number 8. Nathan Jeshe, 9. William Van Leer, who had that injury on Saturday, is number 20. And Preston Bittermo is number 21. Your referee tonight is Joseph Karam. I think the first time that he's officiated a Kettering Town side. The Suds, as I said on Saturday, are still to win in 2006. Their last win was December the 20th at Redditch United, of all places. That's 13 games ago, which has included 12 defeats. In the side is former Poppy Finn Corrigan, who played on Saturday, was substituted in the second half. Kettering's 4-1 win on Saturday against Sudbury is the highest away win of the season, and it is 5 out of 5 for Kettering against the Suds. Their manager Saturday, Tommy Austin, is no longer with the club. He's since left. And assistant coach Jamie Thompson is in the dugout this evening. Kettering has scored 54 goals this season. It's an equal split, 27 at home and 27 away. And we are 9 points behind where we were this time last season, for those that are keeping those sort of stats. Alongside me this evening is Gary Fullman. Welcome, Gary.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Latimer Park. Just filling up quite nicely at the moment, hoping for a decent crowd versus the Champions League crowd sitting at home watching on the television. But I'm sure there's going to be more drama here this evening. So hopefully see the Poppies do the short-term double over AFC Sudbury. I mean, put in a decent performance, particularly in the second half on Saturday. I think it's 3 changes that we're making as Liam shuffles the pack once more in this Tuesday, Saturday roller coaster. And yeah, nice to see Jason Alexander well enough to start on the bench today. Hopefully he won't be called upon. Paul White keeping the number 1 jersey for the time being, but obviously no Wes York and no Leviando. Ando certainly is injured as far as I'm aware still.
Hamstring, I believe.
Yeah,
so he only just recovered from that, hadn't he? So but on their last outing, they scored 3 goals today. AFC Sudbury in a 3-5 defeat. I think they were about 3-1 up at one point away at Bromsgrove on the last day of February. On the 28th, they drew at Worcester on the 14th, Valentine's Day 0-0. But then they lost the next 4 away from home. So their only point in 13 games is the one against Worcester. But Kettering can't take this for granted. Complacency may have cost them a little bit against Elfchurch this time last week. And certainly after that enthralling 4-1 win on Saturday, it's going to be difficult to put that sort of performance in again and get that result against a team fighting for their lives. They are virtually doomed, aren't they, along with Royston?
I think realistically they are, but players will have pride, and obviously they are managerless this evening. And, that can go one of 2 ways. They can be a bit more demoralised, or they might think they've got a point to prove. So you never know what you're going to get. But we have to treat them with a certain amount of respect. But as Liam said in his post-match interview, not too much respect. We need to get at them early put them on the back foot. And if we do can go ahead early on, I think that would bode well for the Poppies this evening.
Of course, on Saturday, it's the first ever meeting at Latimer Park against Quorn. We've only faced them 3 times before, twice in the league and FA trophy, FA Cup even, and a friendly many moons ago when Kettering won 3-0. And I think Elliot Stanley got a hat-trick for the Poppies on that today, but long time ago. Not sure where Elliot Stanley's gone these days, but there we are. Whistle goes underneath it, which means the tunnel is going to be brought out. The strains of the hustle are in the background, and we're getting ready for Tuesday night football. We're here next Tuesday against Banbury United, who lost their first game in 6 on Saturday. And the Poppies, with just that one defeat in the last 7 games, will be wanting to put in a performance for the fans tonight. Liam had the rallying cry, and let's hope that the players can respond to that and we get 3 points. It'll be nice to get challenging for that playoff place. It's going to be quite a want to do that, I think, with the games that they've got coming up. It's a very strong finish that Kettering have to face, but we'll take anything these days.
Well, we will. You never know with football. It's a big ask, not just because of the points differential we've still got to make up with the games in hand, but also because there's so many sides still in between where we are at the moment in 9th position and the last playoff spot in 5th position. So we need a fair bit to go our way, I think, as well as doing the business as far as we're concerned and winning as many games as possible. It's highly unlikely, obviously, we're going to win out. It'd be very nice if we did, because we would be in the playoffs. But few twists and turns yet to come this season, I'm sure.
Stats read like this: it's 5 wins for the Poppies against the Suds 0. Goals for Kettering 10, goals against is 2. Highest attendance last season, 1,439, saw a 2-1 win. And the lowest attendance was on Saturday away from home, 239, with Eddie Panther scoring 2 goals. He's the player that scored the most goals in one game against AFC Sudbury. 2 players have made their debut: Carl Mensah this season away and Alex Goodyear last season. The teams come out to applause. Sudbury brought a sprinkling of fans. Are acknowledging those playing in the same colours as they were on Saturday, yellow and blue. Kettering this time in their traditional red and white. Paul White reverting back to all blue as well. And we're getting ready. The handshake's going on in front of us. And the Sudbury side is exactly the same as the side we faced on Saturday, and the same substitutes as well. So, and Kettering is the same side, really, with the addition of Alexander, just in a different order. So not often we can say that both lineups are the same, really. So, as I say, Quorn here on Saturday. They're one of the top teams. Then Banbury, of course, next week today, and then away at Barwell, who are also in the bottom 4 as we stand. Always a difficult game at Barwell, and always has been. I think it's been very close. Other than the FA Cup game when Kettering won 4-1, all the other games have been pretty close. So that'll need to be worth watching. But all interest and eyes are on tonight's game here. Sudbury in the huddle. Kettering going towards, or Forsyth is going towards the referee, the captain. Jake Turner is captain of Sudbury. And they have a giant number 6 in Harvey Peters. He's about the same size as Mensah, who's colossal. And
no, I think Mensah's got the edge on him.
I think he has just, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He won every header on Saturday, I think.
He had a good debut, no doubt about that, Paul. He's got a bit of experience as well and a bit of nous. He knows what it is to obviously get promoted as well. So
I did say to him this evening when I took his photo for the website that last time you were here, you scored an equaliser against us. He said, I thought you might have forgotten that. No, I said, we never forget things like that. Let's hope that he can repay us and put one in this evening. I'm sure that he'll want to ingratiate himself with the Poppies fans. They now go into their huddle just before kickoff. It's going to be Kettering kicking from left to right towards the Tin Hat, and AFC Sudbury going to kick us off. And Kettering's still in the huddle as we're nearing the time to kick off. Kettering break away from the huddle. Kettering Town versus AFC Sudbury. You can hear it live here on Poppies TV, sponsored by Elgood's Brewery, with myself, Paul Cook, and Gary Foreman, bringing you this live broadcast this evening from Latimer Park. What a glorious day it's been today, and spring is with us, as it's in Kettering, in fact, kicking off towards the Tin Hat, with Fataggio starting this evening over the ball. The side playing in front of the back three. Referee just signalling to both goalkeepers and to his officials, checking his whistle, and away we go. Forsyth then feeds the ball out to Coyle on the far side. He sends it long towards Panther, chests it down to Firefield. It goes out of play off a Sudbury player for a throw. No Wes York in the squad today. And Andow still injured. Throw-in hasn't been taken yet. It has now, and it goes for a corner. So first corner in the first minute here of this game. In fact, 29 seconds has gone for that corner. Kettering thinking about doing a quick one, which they do. It's taken to Firefield. Firefield comes inside, down by the byline, puts the ball over, goes over everybody. There is Coyle mopping up at the back, feeds it out wide to Forsyth. Forsyth slips it through to Lewis. Lewis does well. Can he slip his man? Lewis puts the ball over. Ooh. It should have been a goal there. It's hit wide and goes over for a goal kick. Advantage Kettering nearly does. New ball required.
Yeah, that was a chance, an early chance. It's got underneath it though. Couldn't see who got the shot away, but good work from Lewis to get the cross in the first place. Kettering returning to their 4-3-3 formation, which they actually played in the reverse fixture on Saturday. So that means Captain George Forsyth has got another midfield outing, with Lewis and Fataggio just ahead of them too.
Floyne with his goal kick puts it straight out of play, much to the pleasure of the Tin Hat, who cheered that one as they're all marching around the Kettering fans to get into the Tin Hat. And it's on the far side. It is another Kettering throw-in. There's the drum starts off, but there's no response. Throwing that far side. Coyle with it. Bittermo isn't in the side at the moment. On the subs bench. A bit of a knock, as did Isaacson, but they're all deemed fit for selection. Coyle gets the ball for Fataggio. Back to Coyle. Coyle, looking that byline, has to turn. Feeds it through to Fataggio. He's been pressed back. He switches it on this far side to Lewis. Lewis has to change this to Bittermo, to Rowe. Got Williams in front of him. He threads the ball through to Williams, but Peters will cut this out. He does. And he puts that one out for a throw-in. Williams, the only one beside the keeper, wearing gloves. And a throw-in to the Poppies, but this time it is Rowe going over to take this, which would mean could be a long one. It isn't. Feeds it through to Fataggio. Fataggio down by the corner by being pushed in the back, but still Fataggio with the ball. He turns, threads it through, but gives the ball away. Cleared by Sudbury. Then it's put out by Corrigan. Ex-Poppy, of course. Another throw into Kettering. Rowe this time might try something different. It's going to be a longer throw, I think, this time. He's marshalling the players for a long throw. He's right back against the stand. Rowe then delivers the ball. It's in that penalty area. It's flicked on the back post there. There's Lewis. A chance here for a turn. And it's Forsyth in there. Sudbury clear the ball, but looks like Marcel Lewis is down in the penalty area. He just got himself up, and he's okay. Kettering retain the ball on the other side there. Firefield loses it though, and Sudbury get the ball away. Marching down, a foul there on that far side. That is it is a booking in the Premier League, and there's a free kick to Sudbury. And we thankfully get a card there, young Fongfield. Thrown about 2 yards in the Sudbury half in front of the away dugout. Delivered towards Lewis, but it's hoofed away. Corrigan gets ahead to it, headed out again towards Fifield, but Charlie Lewis wins that one. Free kick. Again, Fifield involved. It's exactly the same position the free kick was a minute or two ago. It's a poor one from Sudbury. They just hoof the ball straight out of play. That will be a goal kick. We're into the 5th minute here at Latimer Park. 0-0. Neither goalkeeper troubled at the moment. Kettering fans doing their best to generate an atmosphere. And we'll bring the attendance as soon as we get that. That'll be later on, of course. There are a few more games this evening. We'll try and bring you those scores if and when we get any news. Paul White then in his 6-yard box in front of the Crowsaw end, sends it long in the middle towards Pantich, flicked on, and a foul by Fataggio on Jake Turner, according to referee Karam. That will be a free kick. Eddie Panther, 10 goals in 14 games, 5 in 2 games on 3G surfaces. And the free kick about to be taken as Jake Turner, the captain, is over the ball, a yard from the centre line. Right-footed, puts the ball in on that far side, headed out by Mensah to Fifield. Does well, Fifield trapping that ball down. Sends it long for Panther to chase, and Panther's tripped his man, unfortunately, or the Sudbury player went down. There was a slight touch, I think, there, and the Sudbury player made a meal of it. Referee's right, it was a foul. It's a shame because Panther had sprinted well, got in front of his man, but collided slightly. And Liam Coyne, the goalkeeper in all orange as he was on Saturday, about to take this free kick. 0-0.
Clements made the most of that incident, but always the way, back underway. Panther again jostling with Clements. Sudbury get the ball forward. But Coyle should deal with this just in his penalty area, has to put it out for a throw-in, level with the penalty box. So here's the chance for the centre halves, for the visitors to come forwards. Harvey Peters and Karen Clements certainly striding forward to add a bit of height. So it's going to be a long throw that's coming in on the far side.
So yes, their own version of the long throw. It comes in, it's a good one. Paul White comes out, he punches the ball, and it's cleared by Coyle towards Patrick. Goes over him though, pushing the back on Lewis. Then he loses the ball as Marcel Lewis plays the ball back to Finley Corrigan. Back to Lewis, Charlie Lewis, the captain. There's 2 Lewises playing for Sudbury. Out on the wing to Marcel. He puts the ball through. A chance here for the visitors in the penalty area. 1 and then 2 cleared. And it looks like an injury there. I heard a squeal. And that's Rowe who's gone down. And
it's Mensah that caught him.
Yeah, it was his own player that caught him in the trying to clear the ball.
Painful.
It is painful. We heard the squeal from here. Just what you don't want with just 9 minutes gone in the game. And sports therapist Michael Hunter's on straight away. He's riding around. Kettering could be forced into an early change. Let's hope he's okay though. Quite a still night this evening, a lot of wind around. And he's still being treated as everyone's just walking around. So it's a collision with Mensah. Towering man, isn't he?
He is. He's not done his teammate any favours though. Accidental, of course. Mensah it was who cleared the ball and the man really away from the penalty box. But Lane Rowe.
Well, there's nobody warming up, so
that
is a good sign. If there was an immediate problem, you'd see someone warming up. That's why they'll see if they can run it off and see how it is. He's still Mensah puts his arms around him, crushes him in the process. But
he's on his feet.
He's on his feet, and referee goes over to see if he's okay.
He'll have to go
off, isn't he? Yeah. Michael Hunter goes off. Here he's up. He's walking a little gingerly, as you'd expect, but looks okay from this distance. We'll have to wait and see how that one permeates. But Lane Rowe there took a bit of a hammering from his own player, so he goes off and get back to the game. It will be a throw-in on the far side to Sudbury. It was cleared by Kettering. And down to 10 men at the moment. There goes the whistle. Nick Greenish are in the instructions out. I can hear him from here. It's back with Peters from the throw-in. He squares it to Aligbo. He finds Marcel Lewis. Marcel Lewis, quite a tricky character, but intercepted though by Fifield. Trying to feed Panther, but he doesn't reach Panther. Good work from Pearce. Gets the ball to Aligbo. Punt forward. There's Mensah. Wins the header. Rowe back on. Seems all right. Forsyth wins the header. Aligbo sends it forward again, but there's Mensah. And Fifield trying to get the ball, but it arrives at Forsyth. Forsyth chips it forward towards Williams, but Peters will win the header against Pataggio. No comparison. Foul there on Pataggio. And referee blows late. But it was a foul. And was a foul by the ex-colleague Corrigan on his former teammate.
Yep, I didn't think the referee was going to give it, but he has done. That's good attacking position for this free kick. It's about 10 yards in from the touchline, halfway in the half, and gives Coyle an ideal opportunity to put an in-swinger in on his left foot.
The referee having a word with Marcel Lewis, who's 10 yards, I believe. Coyle then with this free kick. There goes the whistle, up goes the arm, bit of movement in. It's an outswinger there, headed out quite easy. The chance here for Kettering to get the ball in. One more! Should have been a goal. And that was Mensah, almost scored. And the shot from Lewis is blocked. Pataggio wins the header, then is fouled. Play on as Coyle was going to run away. Referee stops play as Marcel Lewis is down with Kettering having possession. And the fans behind the goal not happy. The chance there for Mensah. I thought he could have stabbed that one in. But,
yeah, it was a golden opportunity actually for Mensah, and the referee stopping the play. I don't know why. It wasn't a head injury. It just Marcel Lewis made his scream, went down. He's fine. He's back on his feet. No need for any treatment. And yeah, the referee bought that one.
He did, and Kettering were away, weren't they, with Coyle down that side, and who knows what would have happened if the ball came over, but that position has now been changed. The referee goes over to the ball, and should do a drop ball, really, but the advantage that Kettering had has gone. Rowe...
well, we will get possession, but...
we have got possession as Lewis... as Williams down by the byline, cannons it off the number 12 Aligbo for a corner. Did well, really, as Marcel Lewis trots back on. Coyle goes over to take the corner. 0-0 here in the 14th minute. And it hasn't been taken yet. Lewis goes in, just outside the area. If he gets a chance, hasn't scored for quite a few games as Alfie Lewis. Ball comes in from Coyle, headed over everybody. And it gives Panther a chance on the far side. And chance here coming in. Can he shoot? No, and Fifield with the ball, then loses it, cleared. Comes off the referee, unfortunately, and That gives possession to Sudbury. And that's a shame because Kettering were forcing a little momentum from Fifield and Panther. But in clearing it, slammed it into the referee.
Referee in the way. Mind you, he didn't get involved in either of the huddles before the game, so
Make the change.
it makes a change, doesn't it? That was bizarre, to say the least.
Peters then sends the ball through. It's a poor ball, though, and Mensah allows that to run through to Paul White. And he bowls the ball out on the far side to Isaacson. Isaacson plays it back to Paul White. White switches it, trying to find Williams or Fataggio. It arrives at Panther, flicks it through to Fataggio. Fataggio does a little shimmy, but still has the ball. Feeds it to Lewis. Lewis, right-footed, turns. Under pressure, sends it out to Williams. Williams can't direct the ball through to Rowe. Gets it back to Lewis. Lewis in the centre to Fozzie. He pumps it forward. Can Rowe keep this in? He can. Plays it on to the Sudbury player for another corner. Good work from Rowe. Good thinking from Fozzie. Since he's being played in front of the front three, his game has changed, hasn't it? He's become more of a threat. Just hope he's got his shooting foot on.
Well, he had a wonderful assist, didn't he, on Saturday that nearly took Panther's head off, but
it went in.
It went in, so he'll take that any day of the week.
Coyle then with the corner comes in, goalkeeper comes out. There's a melee there. It's looked like it was going to creep in. Coyle again puts a low one. It's a poor ball here. It's a bit of a scramble away for Sudbury. And Williams wins the ball back, but Corrigan fouls. In fact, it wasn't Corrigan, it was Mulqueen fouls Coyle. Referee brings the ball back. Of course, Mulqueen went off on Saturday. Quickly taken by Coyle. A chance here for Williams, the penalty. Williams puts the ball in. Now he gets a corner out of it. And Coyle goes over again. Kettering then forcing the play. It's all Kettering at the moment. Can they get the ball over the line? Shades of Alchurch at the moment. Need to capitalise on this advantage of going forward. Coyle then places the ball just outside the quadrant with the shadow just on the line. It comes in towards that back post. Headed high. Punched by the keeper. Mensah. And that one is put into orbit. Must have been deflected because another corner. New ball required. So not sure whose garden that went in, but it's gone in a garden, I think. It was hit with such ferocity.
Yep.
With the deflection as well, it went down Polwell Lane, I think.
Good pressure, though. Losing count of the number of corners we've had already in this game. We're only in the 18th minute.
Well, Coyle again gets another opportunity to put a searching corner in. They've all been quite tricky at the moment. Goalkeeper's been under pressure. And Mensah's with the goalkeeper. No comparison in size there. Ball comes in near post. It's headed back out to Coyle. Coyle, another chance to put one in. He does so. This time it's headed out again. Williams can't get there. Lewis can, but it's intercepted. And there's a chance here. Pfeiffer needs to react quickly. He does. He turns well and beats two players in the process. Pfeiffer going forward. Feeds the ball through to Panther. Panther's onside. Panther puts the ball in. It's out. There's Mensah. Miskicked it. And he had a chance to slot it in there after Panther's shot. Mensah could have scored 2 goals. It's just a simple task of slotting that one in, and Mensah unfortunately couldn't connect properly with it. It's out on the far side with Fifield again. Full side to Fifield. Back to Lewis. It is Fifield puts the ball in. There's Panther in there with Mensah. It's headed out. Can that be kept in? It can, right on the corner flag. Fifield. Back to Coyle. He has to play the ball back to Fataggio in the centre. Fataggio slips the ball into Lewis. Lewis. Kettering trying to feed the way through. Coyle. Back to Isaacson on the centre circle. He slips it out wide to Williams. Williams coming inside. Being forced out and forced back. It's back with Fataggio. Fataggio. Searching ball to Williams, who swaps sides at the moment. Williams now on this left-hand side, going wide. Puts the ball in. It's caught by the keeper well. Coyne, as Panther was waiting for any mistake. All Kettering there at the moment, Gary.
Yeah, very much all Kettering, all the action away to our right. And Carl Mensah with his second chance of the evening. I think it's safe to say we'd like another player. You think Panther would have buried a chance like that in the penalty box, and Mensah unfortunately had two chances to put the Poppies ahead this evening, both on the deck rather than his head. He's won everything in the air again, so let's hope he can get on the end of a corner or something. But a very positive start for the Poppies. 20 minutes gone here at Latimer Park. It's still 0-0, but there's only one team asking questions.
There is, as Mensah slices the ball to Rowe. He has to turn and work on it, has to feed the ball back to Paul White. White, under pressure, has to deliver the ball. In doing so, he kicks the ball out of play. And Harborough 2-0 up at Bromsgrove. Hales 0-1, Banbury 0 are the only two scores at the moment, as Sudbury tried to fade the ball through, but it's intercepted by Fataggio. He finds Lewis. Fataggio is here on this right-hand side. There is Panther. Feds the ball through to Fataggio. Fataggio's got to Panther there. It's cut out for a corner again. Good defending by the Suds, and they've needed to. That was Harvey Peters. Tall, long leg there, intercepting and steering it away for a corner. Coyle must be, encamped down by that corner flag. Must be the 8th corner Kettering have had on that side.
Yeah, we were 4 against 3 though, and I think Sudbury would have taken the corner any day. Williams though couldn't get the cross in.
Coyle then towards that back post. There's Mensah. This time he's beaten to it, which is a rarity. It goes out of play for a throw on the far side to Kettering. That's the first time in 2 games that Mensah's not won a header. Just when he thought he might nod that one in at the back post, but the threat is there. Coyle leaves it for Rowe. So no doubt this will be a long one. It's right back against the Raj sign. Ball comes in. Mensah back header. Hoofed away, and anywhere will do, rather agriculture. It stays in play incredibly. And cleared by the Suds this time, only towards Coyle. He turns back to Lewis, back to Fataggio, the only man back. He squares it to Williams. Williams turns on the halfway line, trying to find Panther, but he's beaten to it. Fataggio wins the header, flicks over to Lewis, trying to find Mensah. Mensah heads the ball down. It comes through to Rowe. It's hooked away for a corner. Desperation stuff here from the Suds. And one of those boxing games, isn't it, where the towel would be going in, I would think. But at the moment...
I've run out of fingers counting the number of corners we've had. I'm sure 7.
7 and a thumb I saw there.
I thought it was more than that.
But 7 from this side, isn't it?
Yeah,
so,
it's just the impression I got that it's been one-way traffic. Loads of corners. Can we make one count?
Can we indeed, as Coyle once again sets the ball in the just outside the quadrant with the shadow hanging on to make it legal as the ball comes in towards that back post again, headed out quite easily. There's a chance here, but it's cleared by Sudbury. Finds Lewis on the far side. Comes into Panther. Panther might try a shot, does. Snaking shot there. Oh! And that's hoofed away back to Panther, heads it in, but Sudbury get the ball away only to Fasai. Fasai finds Lewis, tries to find Panther, goes out of play, and that will be a throw-in. Kettering haven't been able to capitalise on all the pressure they put Sudbury under. Sudbury, to their credit, have defended well. And it remains 0-0 here on 24 minutes of this game at Latimer Park.
Yeah, Sudbury taking the time, trying to catch the breath, bit of respite in the red wave that they've had pretty much faced really in this first half so far. Throwing goes down the line over the halfway line, well headed away by Kettering. Fataggio picks the ball up in the centre circle. Fataggio out to Kai Williams on this near side, near back into side to Fataggio. And then back to Blaine Rowe and all the way back to Carl Mensah in the Poppies half. Mensah looking for his options, goes long, trying to find Kai Fifield. That'll be dealt with by the Suds. And that's dealt with badly, actually, by Pearce. It skews off his foot, gets away with it. And then Lewis plays the ball up to Stone, the lone man for Sudbury. He's dispossessed. Kettering back in possession again. Fifield going forward now. Beats Turner, then runs into a wall. And the ball is cleared all the way back to Mensah. Mensah, tall, we know. Eats up the space pretty quick with his stride. Finds Lewis. Lewis out to Forsyth. Back to Isaacson. Isaacson out to Forsyth on the far touchline. Back to Isaacson. Not under any pressure. Goes long, but gives the ball away to Lewis. Lewis in turn presents the ball back to Kettering. A bit of a tennis match so far at the moment. This one, Lewis though does well. Finds Kai Williams on this near touchline. Williams cuts in, but he's overrun that. And Lewis is well tackled by Fataggio. And then it's a late decision by the referee. Says it's a foul. It didn't look like a foul to me. On Marcel Lewis it was, but he seems to take his time. He gives it 2 or 3 seconds before he blows for a free kick, the referee.
He does, and that free kick was taken without the referee's whistle, so he's brought it back. But yes, you're right. It didn't look like that Fataggio got away with it. It was a slight touch, but it is a free kick. Out comes Liam Coyne, who's been under a lot of pressure in this first half so far on the barrage of corners, and he's now having to retake the kick because he's taken it from the wrong place. And the ball is on the far side. So keeper having a word with the official down here on the right-hand side, but well, we're still waiting for it to be dispatched. It's probably 2 yards further back than it was. Coyle then with the free kick. There is Forsyth. It's put back into the number 7, cleared by Mensah. He just gets a big foot into it, clears it to the halfway line. There is Fifield. It just bounces off a Sudbury player as hooked through. Forsyth sends it long. There's a chase here on the far side for Panther. And Sudbury had to put the ball out. They can't allow Panther any space whatsoever. Rowe going over to take a long one, I think. Or is Cole going to take it instead? No, he leaves it for Rowe. If there was a graph, there's only one way the spike would be going at the moment. But if you don't score goals, no matter how long you have the ball. Let's hope Kettering can capitalise on this throw, and it comes in, headed out by Peters. Back to Coyle. And then cleared easily by Sudbury. Williams is going to get to this first. Has to turn, gets it to Fataggio. Fataggio going forward. Fataggio squares it to Lewis in the middle. Lewis comes inside. Threads the ball through to Panther. Panther out wide to Fataggio. Good work here from Kettering. Fataggio goes one way, goes the other, comes inside, goes the other way. Fataggio down by the byline, puts the ball into that back post. It goes over everybody. Just wanted a touch and it would be a goal, but it was a deflection. That's a corner on the far side. Any touch on that from a Kettering player, that was 1-0. And
I'll keep knocking at the door. You think it's going to give way eventually, but that was very fortunate for Sudbury.
Well, Fataggio going over to take this corner, giving Coyle a rest. And let's see if he can conjure up a attempt on target. They thought about the short one, but haven't. Fataggio there, near post to Forsyth. It's back to Fifield. He puts the ball in low. It's cleared, a miss kick. Williams puts the ball in. Oh, what a save! Reaction save there for the keeper on the line from Williams. And I thought that was in. it was like a pinball in there in the penalty area, and then the last shot, somehow the keeper must have seen that one late and just parries it away somehow for a corner.
There might have been a bit of deflection as well. Coyne did very well there to keep that out. Another corner for the Poppies.
Coyle then this time towards that back post towards Mensah, goes over him though. Kettering keep it in with Fifield. Puts the ball in again. Header comes in. 1-0 at last. Kettering get it. Who was it?
Blaine Rowe, I think.
Rowe gets the header, and they deserve it. 1-0. It's been coming, and eventually Kettering get the ball in the net. 1-0.
Well, I was beginning to think this pressure wouldn't count, but it did in the end. That particular corner, it went to the far post. Fifield retrieved the ball, put a decent cross into the near post, and Blaine Rowe it was with a flick header. And finally, after knocking at the door for so long, the Poppies do have the lead here this evening. 1-0.
That's Blaine Rowe's first goal for the club.
Good timing,
very good timing. Good timing indeed, isn't it? So everybody contributing in the goal scoring charts, which is good to see. And that should ease a few nerves as Kettering take the lead. Ball with Jake Turner on the far side to Mulqueen. He puts the ball out though, and it comes off a Kettering player for a throw-in over the far side. Of course, if you didn't know, Tommy Austin, the manager, left Sudbury after Saturday's game. Assistant coach Jamie Thompson is in control tonight, seeing his side go one down as Forsyth pushes down Marcel Lewis right in front of the referee. Free kick halfway in Kettering's half on that far side.
It doesn't take a lot of contact for Marcel Lewis to find the floor, does it?
Well, he's not far from the ground anyway, is
well,
he?
He's not.
He's
vertically
centre of balance, probably.
But,
yes, it isn't probably like anybody else's, but it is a free kick. And it's a fair distance out, though. I don't think Williams is 10 yards there, but the referee is allowing him to stay there. It's Lewis with the kick, comes in, headed out by Rowe, and then it's going to be cleared by Mensah on the opposite side where the header was. He's coming down this byline here, Mensah. Outside of his foot, trying to find Fifield. He goes out of play for a throw-in. So Blaine Rowe opening his account for the club. All that after that injury he had earlier on in the game. That seems to disappear now, thankfully, as goes over him and Mensah clears it once again towards Panther. Panther does a good touch there, gets it to Fifield, but the ball arrives at Panther. Panther going out wide, then he's tripped, and the official gives the foul on Panther, the linesman. The referee wasn't going to give it, but there certainly was a trip. You could see him losing his balance, and a free kick at 10 yards from the corner flag on the right-hand side.
Yep, good attacking position here. Coyle is across, as you would expect, on his left foot to in-swing this one into the penalty area. The ball's only about 3 yards outside the penalty area to start with. As you'd expect, all the big men forward for the Poppies.
Coyle then over this free kick. Whistle goes. Coyle delivers it towards that back post. Headed out though by Peters. Mensah's on the far side. Going to recycle the ball if he can. Does so, puts it in. It heads over there. Goes almost a goal, but it's kept in play. With Coyle on this on the other side. He feeds it through to Panther. Panther curls the ball in, headed out, and it's back with Forsyth. In fact, it was Isaacson gets the ball to Coyle and then cleared by Sudbury, but only back to Isaacson, who's swapped sides. He squares it in the centre to Fataggio. Fataggio turns, feeds it through to Forsyth. Forsyth back to Fataggio. He's playing in the centre. He gives it back to Isaacson. Isaacson decides to play the ball to Paul White, who's in his D. And Rowe wanting the ball down here. Paul White did see him, but still has the ball. White then sending it long towards Rowe. He can't win the header. Panther gets the flick on, gets it through to Rowe. Rowe now is away. Can he control the ball? Rowe going through. Rowe still puts it in there. Blocked for a corner. No, he's kept it in play as Rowe. Did well. He's being forced out wide, though. Gets it to Fataggio. Fataggio coming inside. It's all Kettering, as it has been all this first half. Big tug there on Fataggio from Marcel Lewis. Feeds the ball through to Panther. Panther puts the ball in. It's clear this time out for a corner. But big shirt pull by Marcel Lewis. And another corner. 10 corners we've had on this right-hand side. 3 on the other side. And Coyle must be wearing that quadrant out, the amount of time he spent down there. Coyle then over the ball. Firethorpe coming for the short one if he wants to use him. He doesn't. It curls in here. There's Mensah. 2-0. Mensah scores. Great header. And the corner comes off. Kettering in complete control. Mensah scores his first. And once it hit his head, it was going nowhere else but in that net.
Yes, the continued pressure leads to the second goal. Great delivery in from Liam Coyle on his left foot. And Mensah, he just had half a yard space, and that's all he needs. The tall man heads in from about 5 yards out.
I did say to him upstairs before the game, you scored against us last season. It'd be nice to get one the other side. He's repaid us.
Absolutely.
So well done, Carl Mensah.
Well done, Carl Mensah. That's his first goal for the club. Well done, Blaine Rowe. First goal for the club. Have we got anybody else, Cookie, that's not scored for the Poppies yet?
Forsyth.
Can we have a hat?
This season for Forsyth.
This season for Forsyth. Okay. Let's go for that one then for the potential third. But we're back underway here. We've still got plenty of time left in this first half, as it turns out. Rowe back into Forsyth. Forsyth goes forward to Panther at
And Coyle.
yeah, Liam Coyle hasn't scored. Good point. Yeah. So we've still got some players. Don't worry, Poppies fans, that might get on the score sheet. But as it stands, it's 2-0. We are in control, but plenty of football to go.
There is time is not to get complacent and not to think it's all over. Keep concentrating. Good game management's needed now. It's always a difficult scoreline, 2-0. But Kettering at the moment playing well in front of the crowd. As Peters sends the ball in to Lewis, Marcel Lewis. He turns, feeds it through to Jake Turner. He plays it out wide, intercepted by Lewis Coyle towards Panther. He can't get there, but it's headed out for a Kettering corner on the corner, throw in on the halfway line. As Lewis Coyle was going to take it quickly, decides not to. Then does so, gets it to Panther. Panther to Williams. He gives the ball away, though. Sudbury can't win the ball back as Coyle sends it long. It's agriculturally cleared by Sudbury towards Mensah. Comes off the back of his head, though. And then Rowe plays a bit of head tennis, but away comes Marcel Lewis. Gets it to Corrigan. Corrigan turns. And plays it back to Turner. Turner has to get it to Peters, who then finds the keeper, Coyne, who's out of his area. He sends it long, headed on by Pearce. Cleared by Mensah. And it goes bouncing back to Peters, who heads it to the keeper. We're into the 38th minute here. 2-0 to Kettering. Blaine Rowe scoring the first goal. And Carl Mensah added the second a few moments ago. As we say, Kettering in complete control. Plenty of time, though, that to change. Or will they go forward and score a hatful? We'll have to wait and see.
Well, I don't know about a hatful, but Poppies just need to carry on doing exactly what they've been doing for this first 38 minutes of the game. And if they do that, then I'm sure more goals will come their way. The worst thing that they could do is sort of retreat into some sort of shell, thinking job done, because it isn't.
The ball's been played back to the keeper, so they'll be under pressure all the time here as Coyle gets the ball, but it's cleared this time anywhere by Sudbury will do. And they come away look like handball over there, but it isn't. A chance here for the Suds on that far side. Slips the ball into Marcel Lewis. It goes wide, deflection for a corner. That's their first corner of the game. And good movement there from Sudbury, to be fair. They haven't had a lot of chances, and that's one they've had. It was a half chance. And corner down by the turnstiles. And it's Lewis with it. The Sudbury fans just outside the Pro Source stand. About 10 of them over there at the moment. Ball comes in, headed out, and there is Fataggio. It's 4 against 3 as Fataggio comes forward. Still Fataggio going. He's got Lewis one way. There's Panther in the middle. Panther comes through. Can he get a shot in here? Panther. Good save with the leg from the keeper going the other way. He gets a leg to it. Stops Panther getting another goal. Panther again retrieves the ball outside wide. Comes in though. It's a poor ball from him though. It's caught easily by Coyle and his near post, but good effort from Panther. Unlucky.
It was a good effort, but it was a great chance. And if he'd have just got a little bit closer to one of the corners, then Coyne would have been beaten for the 3rd time this evening. That was a good chance for Eddie Panther and Manning Form.
Marcel Lewis beaten to it as Forsyth comes away with it now. He finds Fataggio on that far side. Nobody else with him at the moment. Williams has now trotted in front of him. Fataggio coming one way or the other. He might try a long range, so he puts one in. It's clear for Fataggio again. It's a volley. It's cleared again. And Peters gets a head onto it, but there's Forsyth, wins the ball back. Gets it through to Lewis. Lewis retains the ball. Switches it on this far side, and this near side to us, to Rowe, who scored the first goal. He plays it out wide to Fifield, who swaps sides. Fifield comes inside. Fifield now with a bit of pace coming forward. Still Fifield. Slips the ball through to Fataggio. He has to stretch for it. Fataggio. Still Fataggio to Panther. Panther slips. And in doing so, the ball trickles through to Liam Coyle. But it's all Kettering down in this first 42 minutes of this game. And they are winning this one 2-0 as we speak. And they've been good for their 2-0 as well. It could have been more, considerably more. And Sudbury hanging on by the skin of their teeth at the moment. Some good blocks, some good defending, some fortuitous and good goalkeeping. They're keeping them in the game. I think another goal would probably do it, but we'll have to wait and see on that one, obviously. We're getting nearer to half time. 42 minutes. Listen to Poppies TV audio, sponsored by Old Goods Brewery. Thank you, Marcus, and the team for their continued sponsorship as Lewis gets the ball out to Fataggio. He gets it through to Rowe. Rowe out wide to Fifield. Fifield, as I say, swaps sides on his right-hand side. He's got the Bligmo in front of him to Panther. Panther, can he turn? He can't. He then feeds the ball out wide to Rowe. He goes into the penalty area. Rowe slips it through to Fataggio. Fataggio turns. Still Fataggio. He loses the ball, though, and away comes Peters. Flicks it through. It was Pearce, in fact, not Peters. He finds Stone. Stone now being pushed out on that far side. Stone slips it into Peters, back to Stone. Pearce, of course, was the person that scored the goal, the penalty against Kettering on Saturday, as Panther is putting the number 9 there under pressure, and it goes out for a Sudbury throw on that far side. Yes, Sudbury haven't seen much of the ball. Certainly Paul White's a virtual spectator again. But as Gary said, there's plenty of football left in this game. And to quote some old pundits from years ago, it's a funny old game. You never know in this day and age what's going to happen next. That's what makes it such an interesting sport. A frustrating one at times, admittedly. But as we've seen over the seasons, thrown on the far side to the Suds. Headed out, though, by Isaacson. Throwing on the halfway line as we're getting nearer and nearer to half time. 44 minutes are into. There would be a bit of stoppage time. Michael Hunter's been on a couple of times. And throw-in comes in again as it quietens down at Latimer Park. And there's a chance here for the visitors. But it's doing well as the Scythe marshalling the Sudbury player to go out wide. And it goes for a goal kick. No danger there. Good work from Kettering.
They've defended pretty well when they needed to defend. Not that Sudbury have posed a lot of questions in this first half. So we tick towards the half-time break here at Latimer Park. All white. We'll get us back underway. Kicks long into the night. Looking for Panther. Panther, though, is beaten, not surprisingly, by Peters. Ball pumped forward again. Clements clears. Forsyth with the header. Looking for Petagio, but it's Sudbury, the visitors. Lewis on this near side into Stone. Stone back to Corrigan. Corrigan finds Lewis again. And Stone bursts forward. And Sudbury are in here. And number 11 who puts a ball in. And that's good defending by Alfie Lewis there. That's the first moment where you thought Sudbury were in this half. Well defended in the end. So I've got 3 minutes extra time here to play. Ball still in play. And Fifield in the end launches it into the Sudbury half. Bit of head tennis. Lewis finds Forsyth. Forsyth out to Petagio. Petagio is barged off the ball and the referee doesn't give anything, does he? Yes, he does. He waits his customary 3 seconds before blowing, but
well, it's Marcel Lewis again, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's about time the referee had a little word with him. I think he's been shirt pulling. He's been
yes, he got away with the shirt.
Got away with the shirt pull, didn't he? And he's a little tap there on him, but just looks at his watch. Does the referee as Petagio leaves it for Lewis Coyle. So we're into time added on in this first half. Kettering Town 2, AFC Sudbury 0 as Coyle puts a poor one in this time. Easily defended by Marcel Lewis, who gets the return ball and robbed by Lewis. Finds Isaacson. He chests it down. Has to react quickly. Gets the ball to Forsyth. Forsyth back to Isaacson. He turns. Isaacson, who played for Sudbury last season, of course, scored against them on Saturday, and will get. Well, we think it's a corner. The referee thinks otherwise, and has given a goal kick.
Yeah, referee got that one wrong. He denied the Poppies 14th corner or whatever we had in this half, but nonetheless, been a very good effort. I have to say, first half on Saturday, Poppies were fairly underwhelming. Not the case tonight.
No, they've had a good 45 minutes, or 47 minutes almost at the moment of this game, restricting Sudbury to 1 half chance, and they haven't really been in the game. As Williams turns, he's still going. Williams, he's got Fifield out there. It goes over Fifield. He won't keep that in, and he tried. Valiant effort from Fifield. It went over him. That should about see us to half time. It is a throw in to the Suds. They've got it all to do in that second half. But the moment, it's to say it's one-way traffic as Mensah. He plays it back to Paul White. White well out of his area. Being pressed down by Jack Stone, but it pumped forward. There's Peters. Finds Mensah. He slices that one, though, and it comes off Lewis. It's hacked away. Isaacson gets a thigh to it, then turns. And you might hear a clonk. You did hear a clonk, but there goes the half-time whistle. It's been a good half for Kettering, 2-0 ahead. Goals from Blaine Rowe and Carl Mensah. And it's all been kept in this first half, Gary.
It has indeed, Paul. And hopefully it will be all Kettering in the second half too. But very good performance there from the Reds. Pretty much one-way traffic in the first half. And we're going to take a short break.
We are indeed. tuned in on, by the way. Well, welcome back to Latimer Park. Kettering enter the field of combat. A few stragglers coming out for Sudbury, who find themselves 2-0 down. 2 goals, if you just joined us, scored by Blaine Rowe and Carl Mensa, both their first goals for the Poppies. And Kettering playing a very good first 45 minutes of football, restricting Sudbury to one half chance, really. 2-0, it could have been 4 probably. Mensa's had a couple of good chances. Panthers had a couple of good chances. Keeper's pulled off 2 very good saves, 1 point blank. Paul White's been virtually a spectator. And overall, it's been a fine performance from Liam McDonald's side. Of course, as I said to him on interview, it must be difficult to play the same side straight after playing on Saturday. But if that first 45 minutes is anything to go by, he's done well with that. But we've got 45 minutes or so to go, and hopefully they can carry on where they left off. As Doug is with me until Gary gets back.
Indeed. Yeah, a great summation now, I think, of that first half. It certainly doesn't look like there's any real way that Sudbury's going to go back into this game. They've been punished and pummeled by a fantastic Poppies performance in that first half. And unlike Saturday, absence of any bookings. We had a rash of those, to say the least, in the other game on Saturday in deepest Suffolk.
I think Marshall Lewis can count himself lucky. Really been a lot of shirt pulling and a few trips.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's been a bad tempered game at all. It's really been quite a good game of football for a neutral or a Kettering fan. Certainly a long way for the Sudbury fans to travel midweek. We had the journey on Saturday, and it isn't one I would look forward to on a Tuesday night. I've done Leaston on a Tuesday night and Darlington on a Friday night. But yeah, there we go. Well, we're getting ready to kick off. It's Kettering attacking the Prosaw end, and the 10 or there's 7 Leaston fans in the tin hat. And we don't know what the attendance is just yet. We'll bring it out as soon as we can. No changes for either side. No bookings for either side. And we're getting ready to get started. And we are off as Turner feeds the ball back to Peters. And he puts the ball straight out of play for a Poppies throw-in. Coyle resuming the throw just by the halfway line. Gets it through to Panthers, being manhandled over by Marcel Lewis, only towards Mensa. He sends it through, but Charlie Lewis cuts that one out. And it's on that far side to Corrigan. Panther can't get there, and Peters is fouled by Corrigan. It's just a bit late, really. He was charging through as Peters, and it is a free kick, not from there. Referee, rightly so, puts it back 5 yards. We've just got the attendance through 645, and that is the lowest attendance of the season. I thought the Alchurch one last week was going to be the lowest, but this one beats that by 40. And so 645 for the attendance. And
all but 7 of those will be quite happy with the result so far.
Exactly. So a throw in on the far side to the Poppies. Rowe had to go and collect the ball from the corner flag. But he's kind of about 20 yards, 25 yards, throws the ball, goes over everybody. And a Kettering throw in again. Rowe advances 10 yards, first down. Delivers the ball again, trying to find Panther. Goes over Panther. There's a chance here for Williams. And Panther chest sit down. Panther might try a shot, tries to get it over, but it's blocked. Panther regains the ball, cleared by Sudbury. And Lewis will allow that one to go out. No, he keeps it in. I thought he was going to allow it to go for a throw, but he keeps it in on the byline. Lewis to Fifield. Fifield squares the ball over, trying to find Panther. It goes behind both of them. Fifield with the ball. He's got Coyle with him. He wants to use music. Tries an in-swinger. It goes over on a little touch there for a corner. That was a poor decision there by Ligbo. He should have left that. It was going out for a goal kick, but he jumped up, got a little faint touch. It goes for a corner right in front of the Poppies fans. Lewis called back to corner duties.
6 and 30 is great, thank you.
Now Coyle goes over to the scoreboard. It's showing 2-0, nice and brightly there in the night sky. Coyle then, can he whip another one in? Can Kettering capitalise? It comes in near post, headed through, and it is a goal kick. The referee changes his mind, gives a corner. Fozzie came through, deflected for a corner. Coyle again then gets another opportunity. A short one this time. Fifield being pressed out wide, puts the ball in towards that back post. There's Isaacson, but he can't direct it too well. It goes anywhere. Cleared agriculturally by the Suds, but they're away. Intercepted well by Fataggio and almost came into the gantry, but it didn't. Throw in to the Suds. 2-0 to the Poppies. We're into the 49th minute. And Charlie Lewis is going to take this throw in. Got the ball to Mulqueen, and then it's through to Lewis to Corrigan. Corrigan in the centre circle plays the ball out wide, intercepted though by Rowe. Rowe now opens his legs. He's got Williams in front of him. Also use him. He has to check back. Does a little pirouette, beats one, beats two, and then he's tripped. Goes down for a foul. Referee gives that. Good work though by Rowe, and showing a bit of pace, a bit of turn, and a bit of skill. He's been taken quickly into Williams. Williams outside the penalty area now. He's going to cross the ball over. It comes in. Panther tries to get there. It's cut out by him. Cleared towards Beside. Beside gets the ball down to Lewis. Lewis out to wide. Back to Lewis. And Kettering. Oh, lovely work there by Fataggio. And then he's fouled in the process. That'll be a free kick in the centre of the park. Kettering carrying on where they left off in that first half, putting all the pressure on Sudbury. Forsyth collects the ball, places it down in front of the referee. There's 4 around this ball. Forsyth, Fataggio, Lewis and Coyle. And Fataggio moves away, as does Lewis. Looks like Coyle will be taking this. Not sure what he's going to do here. Is he going to try a shot at goal? Or
I think he will. Why not?
There's nothing else on, is there, at the moment? There's nobody in
his debut goal.
He could be looking for his debut. A hat trick of people that got goals tonight. Then Coyle tried one and just goes over.
Yep, too much elevation on that one. Bit of a respite for Liam Coyne. Retrieves the ball, plays it out to Clements. Clements up to the halfway line with Lewis. Was that push in the back? No, it wasn't. So Kettering take possession. Panther on the edge of the box, looking forward to Fifield, but Fifield is offside. Flag goes up. So good interplay again from the Reds on this near touchline. As you say, Paul, we've started pretty well again in the second half, and I'm sure that was one of the key messages that Liam McDonald would have made at half-time.
Yep, marginally offside there was Fifield, but he is. Free kick being taken. Peters in the centre sends it out wide. towards Pearce. He battles and doesn't get a thrown out of it. Rowe gets the better of him. Throwing down the far side. No changes for either side. No bookings for either side. And 2 goals for the Poppies. The throwing comes in. It's cleared, though, by Sudbury. Well won by Isaacson. He finds Fifield. Fifield turns. Sends a ball through to Fataggio. It's cut out well, though, by Peters. It's played back to Clements. And he puts the ball out towards Coyle, who allows that to go out for a throw-in. Marcel Lewis couldn't prevent that. Coyle gets it to Panther. Panther keeps it in, does well there to Fataggio. Fataggio breaking away. He's got Fifield one way. He's got Williams. Williams is onside this time. Williams, had he come through, he's onside. Goal! Williams, a beauty, a swirler. He makes it 3. Good work from the Poppies. And 3-0, Williams gets another goal.
Great strike from Kai Williams. Coyne maybe should have done a little bit better with it, but it did find its way into the corner of the goal. So good interplay again from the Reds, and that is a very comfortable scoreline now here this evening, 3-0 to the Poppies.
Indeed so. Lovely work and a lovely goal. And it just swerved away from the diving Coyne and nestled into the side netting from around 12 yards, and a good strike indeed. All these goals, of course, you'll see on the highlights. But 3-0 to the mighty Reds. And this should elevate them probably another place higher in the league and put those playoffs into a category we've been thinking about recently. But looking over there now, there's probably about 14 or 20 so of the Sudbury people have made the trip. Fair play to them on a Tuesday night. They're all in the tin hat. I'll be a bit despondent, I would think, with the performance, but they're probably used to it, unfortunately, at the moment. Coyle then with the throw-in, cut out by Lewis. Coyle again trying to find Panther, but it's cleared by Clements for a Kettering Town throw-in. Amazingly, Kettering has scored 3 goals and Panther hasn't got one of them. But Coyle being told to go back by the referee. Gets it to Lewis. Lewis back to Coyle. Coyle back to Lewis. Lewis has to play it to Paul White on the edge of his area as he's been chased down by Jack Stone. Plays it out to Mensah. He turns. And turns again, slips. And plays it back to Paul White. White, one touch, sends it long. Peters underneath it, gets a good head on that. Only to Forsyth. Forsyth to Fataggio. Fataggio weaving his way through. He's got plenty of options here, and he's played the wrong one, unfortunately. And he just pumped the ball forward. Both Fifield and Williams on either side of him, and Panther were the options. But a wrong decision there from Fataggio. Goal kick being taken quickly. Peters finds Corrigan. Corrigan slips the ball through, but Kettering slipped it back through Panther. Panther might try his own shot, gets through Williams again. Williams puts the ball in here. Great save from Coyle, tipping it over the bar from his near post. And Kettering there probably could have got another one, but another good work from Williams. Corner.
Yeah, Panther might not have scored, but he's done his best to set a few people up for their own goals here this evening. Kai Williams nearly bagging his second. Was a good reaction save, though, by the goalkeeper Coyne. But another corner for the Poppies.
Coyle then thought about a short one, getting the ball to Williams, but Williams trots back into just outside the penalty area, waiting for a loose ball as Coyle lines up near post, flicked in there, goes by everybody. It was almost crept in the back post, but just goes wide. Half chance there for Kettering. Goal kick. Still 3-0 to the Poppies. And goalkeeper Coyne has to go over to collect the ball. We're back here on Saturday. If you don't know, they're playing Quorn at Latimer Park. Their first ever visit to Latimer Park. And Kettering's third game of the season against the Methodists. That'll be a tough challenge. To Kettering on this sort of form. can do anything against anybody, I would think, when they put their minds to it, as Panther gets the ball through to Forsyth. Forsyth flicks it through to Panther. Panther on the edge of penalty area, comes in here. Panther puts one in here, blazes the ball over, though. And another chance goes begging. Panther trying his heart out to get on that score sheet. But goal kick. 58 minutes gone. And there's going to be a change for the visitors. And Tower King is coming on for Finley Aligbo. And Tommy Detmar is coming on for Jensen Mulqueen. So 2 substitutions there for the visitors. Coyne gets us back underway. Forsyth wins the header. There is Mensah getting the return header flicked off to Peters, who slices that one down the centre, but on the far side with Williams, but he loses the ball to Pearce. Pearce out-muscled this time, though. Well won by Williams. He's away on that side there. Williams has got Panther in there. He can Panther get through. He's well shielded, though, by the Sudbury defence, allowing that to go out for a goal kick. Panther was trying down to breathe down his neck to get the ball over to Fifield, but he couldn't do that. Kick been taken quickly. Sent through to Pearce, a little flick onto him, trying to find Stone. But it's White comes out and sends a long ball. And there's a foul there on Panther off the ball. Referee brings it back. And rather stupidly that was from Sudbury. The kick from White was going to go out for a goal kick anyway. But the interference on Panther has given Kettering the chance for the free kick. And just what Sudbury don't want.
No, inviting their own pressure. It's fine by us, of course. Free kick is about halfway inside the Sudbury half, fairly central. No surprise that Lewis Coyle is going to be taking it again. Mensah's forward, as is Ben Isaacson, lining up on the edge of the penalty box. Coyle, hand in the air, lays it in towards the penalty spot. That's too far. Miscommunication, I think, there, looking at the players. Thought he might run a bit harder for it, but out for a goal kick.
Bit of a waste, really, that one. There's no Kettering player got anywhere near it. But into the 60th minute. There's Coyne, the goalkeeper, taking this a goal kick. Sends it down here on this right-hand side. Isaacson gets it to Forsyth from it. Forsyth, Coyle gets the ball, but gives it away. Hooked away by the Suds. Finding Stone, cleared by Mensah. It bounces off Mensah. He has to feed the ball back to Paul White. He's in the D. Has to react quickly. Gets it out wide, trying to find Williams. Intercepted there this time by Tower King, and that goes out for a throw-in on the far side. Kettering yet to make any changes. A couple of substitutes warming up. I can see Fanodge over there. But he's gone back to the dugout. Throw-in been taken. A little push in the back there for Tajo. Referee sees that right in front of him. Free kick to the Poppies. Lewis over the ball for the free kick. Gets it to Williams. Back to Lewis. Lewis coming inside. Feeds the ball out to Coyle. Coyle on this left-hand side to Fifield. Fifield, though, can't get there. It's put out by Charlie Lewis for a Kettering Town throw-in. Coyle has got to the ball to the throw-in. Gets it to Panther. It's onside. And it's fouled. And but Be a free kick. And gives Coyle a chance to whip one in. That's leaving it at the moment for Petagio, I think, this time. Coyle and Petagio over the ball then. Right in front of the Kettering faithful. Singing their hearts out at the moment. Making a good atmosphere on this Tuesday night. Joe is two in the wall for the Suds. It's on the left-hand side by the penalty area. It comes in. Back header. A turn by Isaacson, but in doing so, he just steers the ball away. It's cleared by the Suds. It's going to go out of play for a throw on that far side. Coyle very quickly grabs the ball and is told to go back by the referee. So he throws the ball down and leaves it for Rowe, who's then told to go back. And Kettering are going to make a substitution. Will it be before the throw-in or will it be after the throw-in? It's going to be after the throw-in. So Petagio back to Rowe. Rowe has to turn back to Petagio. He turns back, plays it to Forsyth, to Isaacson, who's in the centre of the circle. He plays it out wide to Coyle, to Fifield. Fifield comes inside, back to Forsyth. Forsyth squares it to Mensah. Mensah on that right-hand side. Now he's going forward. Mensah sends it long, intercepted though by the Suds. To Corrigan, he plays it back to Peters. Long ball from him, won by Mensah in the air, of course, and headed down. Forsyth intercepts. It's back with Corrigan. He plays it out wide to Tower King. Back to Corrigan on the halfway line. He does a little swift turn there, does Corrigan. Then plays an awful ball. It goes out for a throw-in. And that'll give Kettering a chance to make this substitution.
Yeah, Andy Thanodge is coming on.
Yeah, Thanodge is coming on. The disco board with Malk.
I think it's going to be Lewis or Forsyth, maybe.
In fact, it's Isaacson that's
It's Isaacson
going off.
So Forsyth will drop back to centre half position.
Isaacson had a shoulder injury on Saturday. And so Andy Thanodge comes on, Kettring's first change, replacing Isaacson. Kettering 3-0 up, of course. Carrying on from that first half.
Got some scores in the other matches. Alchurch 1, Stamford 0. Bromsgrove 1, Harborough 2. Hounslow 3, Banbury 0. And Real Bedford 0, Worcester 0.
Looks like the Banbury bubble has broken at the moment, or burst, should I say.
Still in 9th position at the moment, Cookie.
Pound's got his first touch, gets it to Petagio, but it's cleared desperately by the Suds. Coyle having to sprint back to collect the ball in his own half, which he's done. Turns, gets it to Petagio, and then he loses the ball. Fifield tries to win that, goes down on the challenge. And then Lewis gets it to Panter. Lovely ball from Panter to Williams on that far side. Panter and Fifield in there. Can Williams get the ball over? And he's fouled, and that's a penalty. Yep. Penalty to Kettering as Williams is brought down. Lovely football from Panter, feeding the ball out there to Williams. He breaks through, and in trying to feed the ball in, he's brought down and presenting the Poppies with a penalty.
He was barged down by Towers King.
That's the 8th penalty that Kettering have been awarded. They're 4th at home. And Eddie Panter lines up to take this.
Eddie Panter, indeed. We were just saying that it's been a while. Different scorers on the score sheet without the number 10 appearing. Well, gilt-edged chance for Eddie. So, Panter versus Coyne. Strides up, side-foot it. No mistake whatsoever from Eddie Panter. Sends Coyne the wrong way, buries it in the back of the net. And Eddie Panter is indeed back on the score sheet for the Reds. And it's a very, very comfortable scoreline now. Kettering Town 4, AFC Sudbury 0.
It is Panthers' 11th goal of the season, and scored 2 on Saturday. Sudbury making a change. The number 11 is going off. That's Finn Corrigan. And it is Archie Jolland coming on. He came on for Corrigan in the game on Saturday. Kettering 4-0 ahead. And Panther once again on that score sheet. When he gets a couple of goals, he's always liable to get a few more, isn't he? Gets his goals rather quickly. Went through a period of 4 games without a goal, but has made up for that in the last 2. As he's bearing down on Clement. Patagio gets the ball to Fifield. Fifield does well under pressure, gets it back to Coyle. Coyle back to Fasai. Fasai into Lewis. Back to Fasai. Fasai. Coyle to Fasai. Sends it long to Panther. Goes over him. He falls over. There is Marcel. There's a chance here for the visitors. Number 7 breaks away. Marks by a snapshot. He does. Blocked superbly by Mensah. As Jack Stone was about to pull the trigger. Well, he did pull the trigger. Blocked and goes out for a rare corner for the Suds. And the cries of yellow come out from the 15 or so Sudbury fans behind the goal. Rare chance to put Paul White under pressure.
Good determination, though, by Mensah. He wants the clean sheet. He wasn't going to let a free shot go away.
Corner then comes into that near post. Paul White palms it out. And Rowe comes away there and loses it, then wins it back. Rowe's away here. Rowe's trying to feed Panther through, but away comes Fife, but it's overhit though. And out comes the keeper, Liam Coyle. And now it's Marcel. Flicks it through to Pearce. He finds Jolland. But Jolland with a flock of ginger hair gets it through to Turner. Turner finds Lewis. He gives the ball away though, and Rowe just slips it back to Paul White on his 6-yard box. Gets it to Mensah in the centre. Mensah. Very intelligent pass from Paul White there to Mensah. As Mensah comes forward again, or then gives the ball away rather sloppily, then gets it back. It ricochets off him though, out to Lewis. A chance here. Lewis puts the ball in, and that goes high, wide, and handsome over the bar.
Yeah, that was conversion from Lewis. Kettering are going to make their second change, and Preston Bittermo. In fact, there's going to be 2 subs, possibly, maybe 3. Yeah, there's 3. Jeshe is stripped and ready to come on. So is Van Leer. So there's going to be 3 changes here for the Poppies. I'll have to wait to see what numbers go up. It's Mensah, who's going to be the first player leaving the pitch. Carl Mensah. Good game again today for the Poppies, scoring his debut goal. So he's going to make way. So Preston Bittermo is on. And it's going to be waiting for the board to go up again. Looks like Patagio is striding off. Yes, he is. So he's the second, and Kai Fifield is the third. So change of the pack makes absolute sense with the next game approaching at home on Saturday to Quorn. We're back underway. Paul White kicks long into the Sudbury half. Peters is underneath it. Finds Lewis. Lewis hoiks it on, but Forsyth gets in the way. Jeshe, good first touch. Chests it back down to Van Leer. Van Leer finds Williams. Williams sizing up his man again on the far side, does well into the penalty box. Ball breaks to Bittermo. Bittermo back to Lewis. Lewis does well, finds Bittermo on that far side, back to Lewis. Lewis puts the ball into the penalty box, and it's onside for Jeche. And Kettering have a fit. Nathan Jeche only been on the pitch a minute, and he's got a goal to his name already.
Jeche's second goal of the season, unmarked in that 6-yard box, and dispatches it with aplomb, giving Liam Coyle no chance whatsoever. Kettering equal their highest score of the season. The 5-0 against Starbridge. There's still plenty of time to go to beat that. But 5-0 to the rampant Poppies. And not a cat in hell chance, I don't think, for AFC Sudbury to get back in this game. Not at 5-0.
No, you'd have to be a complete and utter pessimist to,
would indeed.
to think that the Poppies are going to throw this one away.
The Poppies exposing AFC Sudbury every chance they can, and they're going to make another substitution of the Suds. Rocco Leeks is coming on, and Marcel Lewis is coming off. Rocco Leeks scored a hatful of goals by all accounts for the reserve sides. It looks like Smith Kawasi is also coming on for
they're turning over the full 5, aren't they?
The full 5. Can't see who's gone off for them, but Smith Kawasi is on. Kettering can't or won't use all their 5 subs because one of them's a goalkeeper. So Kettering have used all their subs.
Yeah, I think it's Stone who's gone off, number 7.
Stone has gone off, the number 7. Back underway then as Charlie Lewis allows that to go out of play for a throw-in. And 645 watching this. 630 of them will have really enjoyed it. The ones that stayed away have missed a hatful of goals as Van Leer robs the ball, gets it to Williams in the centre. Williams flicks it through towards Panther, and he's adjudged to have fouled. And 5 different scorers again. Against Starbridge there was 5 different scorers, and tonight there's 5 different scorers.
Yep.
Very rare that happens.
Very pleasing when it does.
It is. Free kick to the Suds. Liam Coyne coming over to take it. Without him, it could have been 6 or 7 so far. He's pulled off a couple of very good saves indeed. And still conceded 5 at the moment. The ball is sent long. Lewis underneath it. Flicked on to Van Leer. Van Leer had that horrible landing at Sudbury on Saturday, but he's okay. Tries to get the ball. It's back with Detmar. To Clements. Feeds it through to Jolland. There is Lewis. And well won by Thanodge. Gets it to Van Leer. Van Leer comes in the centre. He's got Williams one side of him. Williams has been set loose. Can he beat the 20? Williams is down there by the byline. Puts the ball in. A chance here for Jeche, but it's cleared by Jack Turner and then square to Charlie Lewis. He sends it long. And there's a chance here for Smith Kawasi. Intercepted by Coyle. To Panther, pushed in the back. To Detmar. Back to Lewis. There's the captain Turner. Finds Clements. Clements switches it to Peters. Catching at the ball back though. Lewis to Thanodge. Thanodge back to Bittermo, because he scored a couple of decent goals. Bittermo, surging runs. Lewis flicked the ball trying to find Thanodge, but it's on that far side. A little slip there by the Sudbury player allows Lewis to come away with the ball. Puts it through to, oh, lovely work there to Williams. Williams Feeds the ball into Panther. Panther takes a turn here. Panther can't get the shot away. And it's back, though, with Kettering. Lewis, he loses the ball, though. Panther's down in that penalty area. And he's up. And it comes off, the goalkeeper comes out off Lewis. And they're into the 77th minute. 5-0 to Poppies. This Poppy TV audio is sponsored by Elgood's Brewery, with Gary Foreman and myself bringing you this commentary live from Latimer Park, as Sudbury are mounting a rare attack with Jake Turner on this right-hand side. Feeds the ball in, but arrives at Jeshe, who got the 5th goal. Gets it to Lewis. He finds Van Leer. Van Leer's overrun that ball, though, but it's bounced off him. He's going through. He's got the pace to do that. He has. He's got Panther behind him. Puts the ball in, but then wins the battle and is brought down. And the referee gives a free kick just a yard outside the penalty area on the left-hand side. So it definitely gives the Poppies a chance, Gary, to feed the ball in and put Coyne under pressure again.
Yeah, it does, right on the edge of the penalty box, this one. If it's going to be Lewis Coyle, it's going to be an outswinger. So the other alternative at the moment is right-footed Eddie Panther, who's down there with him. The referee just pacing out the obligatory 10 yards. 2-man wall for Sudbury. It's Panther who's placing the ball. Looks like he's favourite to take it on his right foot. He does. It goes in, it flashes in, and somehow or other, it flashed into the net. And Eddie Panther has his 2nd goal this evening, and Poppies have 6 of the best.
Panther 12th goal of the season, and Kettering's highest win of the season. And there's still plenty of time to go to get at some more goals. A lovely free kick there, stuck in at the back post, and Kettering carrying their way to a victory tonight.
Yeah, they certainly have, and they've not let off at all from the very first minute. It's been Sudbury go through the difficulties. There's no doubt about that. They obviously lost the manager before the game, resigned that is, but they're obviously had a tough season as well. The position in the league tells, but the trouble is, Kettering very often play down to opposition like that. They've done that too often this season. And Alvechurch, I suppose, was a classic example of that, but not tonight. They've been on it from minute 1, and they've helped themselves to 6 goals so far.
Indeed so, and be a throw on the far side to Sudbury. They do look a bit dispirited to the Suds. Not a lot to cheer about at all. And long journey back to Suffolk. And still 11 minutes or so, 10 minutes or so this game to go, plus time added on as Bittermo gets trying to find Jeshe, but it goes over him. That's going to go for Jeshe wins the ball. Then as a judge to have fouled Peters. It will be a free kick. I'm going to say damage limit. I was going to say damage limitation for AFC Sudbury, but it's not true, is it?
No, I think they're damaged enough. You mentioned about the towel being thrown in if this was a boxing contest, and it certainly would have been thrown in this second half.
Coyle trying to find Jeshe. Jeshe gets the back header. Panther's bearing down on them. Keeper comes out. And Panther will want to get a hat-trick. Disappointed about coming off on Saturday when he'd scored 2. Looks like he'll be kept on now because there's only Alexander to come on. I don't think he's going to play up front. But you never know. As Clement gets the ball back to the keeper. He spoons the ball out. Finding leaks. Good ball to him, to Turner. Been played out wide. It's a poor ball, though. And that will be... it will be a Kettering throw-in. just been given man of the match. I'll leave you in suspenders for a while. As Coyle takes the throw-in, gets it through to Thanodge. He plays it ball out wide. A bit optimistic for Williams to keep that one in, but he's trying his hardest, and he's kept it in. Good work from Williams. Breaking away down on the far side. Still Williams with it. Willie comes inside one way, then the other. And then he gets barged out of the way, but lovely work from him. Robbed, getting at the ball back again to Bittermo, into Lewis. It's back with Ketron into Williams again, who's having a right old time down that right-hand side. Gets the ball out wide. Bittermo puts the ball in. Goes over everywhere. There's Thanodge. And it's lumped forward. Only Smith-Kowalski up front. Cleared by Forsyth, who's gone back in that central position now that Mensah has gone off. So a throw into Sudbury on the far side. 83 minutes gone here. Kettering 6. Not often we say that. Kettering 6. Sudbury 0. As a bit of a scramble on the far side. Kettering going to throw out of it on that far side. Tempo has slowed down a little bit. Rowe, we've got the opening goal, leaves it for Bittermo. And 10 goals in 2 games against Sudbury so far. As Paul White gets the ball to Forsyth, it's back to Paul White. White passes the ball out on the far side to Rowe. Rowe looks up, going to send it long towards Jeshe. Jeshe shields the ball. It's cleared by Jolland. Arrives at Forsyth. Forsyth to Thanodge. Back to Forsyth. Forsyth in his own half, sending it out wide towards Jeshe. Put out by Clements. Thanodge chests the ball down towards Forsyth. Forsyth sending it again towards Jeshe, but that'll be beaten again by Clements. And the ball pumped forward. Forsyth to Trot. Coming forward, trying to find Jeshe. Clements gets the header in. Arrives at Leaks. Rico Leaks being pressurised by Thanodge, who wins the ball off him to Lewis. Squares the ball. Not a particularly good ball, though, and loses it. Back to Leaks. Coming forward. Might be a chance here for the number 10 Jolland, but robbed by Lewis. He's away. Gets it through to Van Leer. Van Leer. He's got Panther one side of him. Plays the ball to Panther. Panther bearing down the penalty area. Panther puts the ball in. It's cleared. And that's going to be a Kettering Town throw-in. 85 minutes gone here at Latimer Park. Kettering Town 6. Sudbury 0. Frame been taken to Thanodge. Thanodge switches it on the far side to Bittermo. He's got acres of space to run at Sudbury. He's got Williams out wide. He feeds Williams in. Lovely if he can get the ball over. Williams is brought down again. It's a corner, though. And Kettering fans in full voice. And why shouldn't there be? It's a sensational 6 goals. I think it'll be a far harder task on Saturday, I think, against Quorn, but it certainly could give them some confidence, this one.
Yeah, it's a fair point, because the next run of games is going to be other teams in the playoff spots or aspiring in the playoffs, starting with Quorn on Saturday. We've got Banbury coming up, Redditch, Hales, Owen, Real Bedford. So, yeah, it's going to get tougher, but if the Poppies are serious about trying to get that probably last playoff spot, they need to do the business.
Claude comes in, little flick on there, goes in. Oh, I thought it was going to be the magical one. It's not. Panther at the back post comes in. It goes over everybody. Shot comes in from Jeshe, goes wide for a goal kick. I thought we were going to get a Len Goodman.
Yes. Yeah, nearly a seventh for the seventh heaven for the Poppies there. But we move into the 87th minute. I suppose there is still time, but we're probably going to get a bit greedy on that basis. But It's been a very, very impressive performance. Yes, it's against a team which is struggling, but as I say, teams like that we should be putting to the sword, and we certainly have this evening.
Indeed so. Coyne then with the kick sends it into Ketterin's half. Header there by Forsyth, clears it, pumps it forward towards Williams. There's Jolland on that far side. Williams being very impressive this evening. Williams, he gets the ball again. No, he can't get there. Bittermo can. Still with the ball, feeds it through for Williams, but the fullback should see him out here. That should be a corner. Williams played it on to him. Very intelligent there from Williams. Well, man of the match has been given by our sponsors tonight. I wonder who that can be. It's going to be Eddie Panther, of course. And worked his socks off again, got 2 goals. But there's been some impressive performances by a lot of Kettering players tonight. And Panther once again showing his class. 12 goals this season so far in 15 games. Corner on the far side. Coyle with it. Coyle then. In it comes in swinging, goes everybody. Cleared. There's Panther at the back post. He puts it back into the centre. It's with Thanodge though. Halfway in there. Half he turns. Gets it to Lewis. Lewis turns the other way. Now he's going forward. He's got Panther out wide, who he uses. Panther's got Lewis in front of him. He beats Jolland. Ball comes over, goes out for a corner. No, well kept out there. Diving header to keep it out from a corner. It will be a throw-in though. 89 minutes have gone here at Latimer Park as Panther gets knocked down off the ball and in doing so gives away a throw-in. He seemed to think he was fouled and this seemed to hurt his back a little bit. But I don't think the Kettering faithful can complain too much. Some of them are getting to leave. But fair play to the Sudbury fans. They've stayed till the end.
Yeah.
And it must be a miserable journey back home for them.
It will be, but hopefully maybe next season reset.
Paul White, if it stays at 6-0, will go ahead of Kevin Shoemake with 55 clean sheets in his career. And Forsyth sends it long towards Jeshe and a chance here, but out comes the keeper as Van Leer breaks it down. Flashing disco board from Malk is going to tell us how long he's left. Looks like a 5. So 5 minutes as Paul White grabs the ball. He'll be wanting to keep this clean sheet so he can rub it into Kev. Pulls the ball out to Rowe on that far side. Rowe. Indeed, it's 5 minutes. He pumps it forward towards Jeshe. Little flick on there to the keeper. So the next 2 things then, can Paul White keep a clean sheet in the 5 minutes or will Kettering get a 7th?
Well, let's hope for the latter. But just on the man of the match, yes, I see why Eddie Panther's got it. But just to spread the love a little bit more across the team, there's been some good performances. I'll give you 3. I think Blaine Rowe has done excellent. Alfie Lewis has been superb in midfield for me. And Kai Williams would be my other one. I think that's his best game I've seen in a Poppies shirt.
Yeah, I concur with that. I think Williams has been excellent this evening. And all 3 of those you mentioned, Rowe has been excellent and Alfie Lewis. I think Mensah has done well as well until he went off, of course. It's hard to find someone that hasn't played well, to be fair. And it's been a very good performance, as you say. It is against a team fighting for relegation. Very dispirited. You can see that in them. But you can only play what's in front of you. And as you said before, we've fell at this hurdle against sides that we should beat handsomely before. Last Tuesday, a prime example, as Williams and Jeshe tried to get the ball. Sudbury, to their credit, are still trying to get a consolation. They might get one here as it comes in. Shot comes in, but high, wide, and goes over the tin hat as we are into the first minute of time added on. As I say, don't forget on Saturday, if you can't make the game, we'll be here to broadcast against Corn, the Methodists. And first time they'll have played Kettering in a home fixture in their career. Although he did play Corn Methodists, I think, in the FA Cup many, or the Leicestershire Senior League many years ago.
Wow, that's going back a bit.
It is. I don't think it's the same Corn side as this.
You must have been a small child at that point, Cookie.
Thank you. I'd say something else, but we're on air. As the ball goes through to Jeshe, as it's cleared for a corner. And it will be a throw-in. Rowe will go over to... he might not. No, he's not. He's left it this time. Bittermo is going over to take this. Gets it through to Williams. Williams tries a little Pele there and does ever so well, but the ball goes out of play. He fed it through the legs, the nutmeg, and then went round the other side, a la Pele in the 1966 World Cup. Was it the 58? I can't remember. I was only 24. As Coyne places the ball down, he'll be glad to see this over, I would think. And I'm afraid I don't think we'll be seeing Sudbury next season, whatever league we're in.
No, barring a trophy or cup match, of course. But yeah, I think they'll go down and reset, and I'm sure they'll do a much better job next season.
Yeah, they've got good facilities and very progressive club. As the ball comes forward towards Williams, he leaves it for Jeshe. Jeshe wins the ball back to Bittermo. He squares it back to Pasai. Pasai out wide to Rowe. Rowe coming forward. Turns, brought down, wins it back. Referee allows the advantage to Jeshe. Doesn't give Williams much chance there. And that should just go out of play for a goal kick. As we're into the 5th minute here, I think, of time added on. The scoreboard is very hard to see at this distance with that small clock ticking away in the centre. But a comprehensive 6-0 win, it looks like, here for the Poppies. Sends them into Saturday's match in good spirits. 10 goals in 2 games in 3 days. You can't ask for much more than that. And
indeed, you can't.
A host of different players scoring, which is good news as well. A very good performance for the Poppies. And commiserations to Sudbury, who played their part in the game. As the goalkeeper boots the ball out of play. And that about sums up Sudbury. Really, they look dispirited. You say they lost the manager. And the reset's needed. And there goes the final whistle. Kettering Town win 6-0. They move up a place. A very good performance indeed. And you can't ask for any more than that.
No, very good performance here from the Reds this evening. Very professional performance. Started out the gate really quick, kept it up for pretty much the entire 90 minutes. I'm sure Liam will be very happy with the team's efforts this evening. And a good 6 of the best as far as Kettering are concerned. And we move on to Quorn on Saturday here at Latimer Park.
Yes, I fear that will be. I fear that would be. I fear that would be quite a game on Saturday. Get down and support the lads, and we'll see you on Saturday. But from Gary and myself and the rest of the team here at Poppies Media, good night.